So one of the most overlooked elements of distance running is the benefit that some short, sharp running can have on your overall performance in your longer races. Today, I want to walk you through a session that you can get done in less than 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week, that's going to have a massive impact on your overall performance in your longer races. So we all understand the benefit that hitting some consecutive miles day after day can have on our performance in the distance events that we're training for. But what so many of us have overlooked is the benefit that hitting some short, sharp hills a couple of times a week after an easy run can have on our performance. Today, I'm going to walk you through a session which is going to make a big impact on the way that you run. But I mean, what is it about hills? Why would we even bother with hill sprints if we're trying to improve our performance over the longer distances? There's a couple of reasons for this that I think so many of us naturally just look past. The first one is technique or form. The way that we run, so many of us, once we get used to that constant and consistent pounding the pavement at one slow pace day after day after day, you can hunch your shoulders and not lift your knees and just keep on strutting along and getting the results that you hope for, that you've been used to. This snaps you out of that. In order to be able to run up a hill at speed effectively, your form needs to be on point. So this is why we target it at the end of a run, especially where we're a little bit tired. One of the beauties of this is running up a hill, you are forced to use the arms that might have become a little bit tired throughout the run that you've been doing. You're not going to be able to just shuffle your way up a hill at speed. It really forces us to become aware of our technique and where we're falling short. Also requires a lot more knee drive. So in order to get up that hill effectively, your knees have to be high, your arms have to be swinging through. Everything has to be working in a sequence to be able to get up there at speed. Done consistently over a period of time, this is a nice little reminder towards the end of a race that we have that to access. If we can remind ourselves at the end of a race that we have that level of speed and efficiency of technique that we can access, when the competitors that are around us, or even just the competition that we have with ourselves is starting to get a little bit difficult, we can activate it, increase our stride, increase our speed, and run and finish at a pace which we might not have imagined possible up until this point. The other thing that you just can't imitate anywhere else but on hills is the second point that I wanted to speak to you about today, and that is strength. The amount of strength that you get from generating power to go up these hills, you just can't replicate that anywhere else. It's almost like a mini gym session for your legs. You're activating your calves, you're activating your quads and your hammies. It hits a whole heap of these different muscle groups, which is going to complement the technique aspects of our performance in those latter stages of a race. Where we get used to slumping and slouching, our muscles will become more developed to having to activate and to be stronger to be able to get us through those difficult parts of a race. So a nice way to break up the gym program, if you have one, nice way to activate and hit different muscles in your legs, is to do the session that I'm about to show you on these hills. 4 to 5 by 15 seconds, really fast efforts up a hill, about 6 to 8% gradient. And perhaps the most obvious thing which we haven't looked at yet, which is a massive benefit in a session like this, is just activating that speed. And so many of us, because we get so used to running at one pace, the idea of lifting our average mile pace or kilometer pace seems unrealistic because we just haven't had the chance, or we haven't practiced activating the faster speed levels which lay dormant deep within us. So by hitting a hill like this, you're going to be forcing those muscles to wake up. You're going to be waking up those white blood cells and just encouraging a little bit of speed to come back into your legs. The benefit of activating some speed is, if right now you're running at 5-minute K pace and that feels at about your max, it feels quite comfortable, but you can't imagine running any faster, just implementing some speed into your legs like this is just going to make that pace, that foundation pace, feel a little bit easier, which psychologically is a beautiful thing for a distance runner. If you can go out and feel as though the pace that you're running, though it's the pace that you're used to running, feels so much slower, psychologically you've got that little break to be able to say, hey, I could actually pump this up a gear. It's not just me saying this. I mean, there's a number of world-class athletes. Jordan Guzman, who's just finished 3rd at the Millrose Indoor Games over 3,000 meters in the USA. It's a common part of his program, and he swears by the strength and the form and the speed that you get out of a session like this. So you guys will be in great company. I know there's a number of elite athletes that we have on the podcast at relaxrunning.com who are also big fans of these workouts. So if you're ready to get into it, if you're ready to change the way you run, hey, try this once or twice a week. Hey, just before we get started, I wanted to let you know I choose to do it on a grass surface or a gravel surface purely because it offers a little bit of support to my legs. The cushioning that comes through running on a grass surface just makes me know that I'm nurturing my joints and my body a little bit more effectively. Obviously, if we're going to be doing something like this at speed on concrete regularly, it's going to be no good for our joints and legs, and perhaps even encourage a few injuries to kick in. So if you've got a local grass track or if you've got a local gravel hill, I would encourage you to get up and down on that one. So once you finish your sprint, walk down, take your time, 2 or 3 minutes if you need. Your goal is speed, then you want to recover. Do that 4 to 5 times, 15 seconds each, call it a day. All right, good luck. Let me know how you go in the comments.